Hey everyone, Nariman here, welcome to my channel. Today we want to discuss Java 23. As you probably know, Java 23 was released a while ago, somewhere around mid-September, and now you can download it and use it. There are not much major changes in this version. Some new features are announced, but also there are many features that are going to a new preview round from Java 21 and Java 22. As you might know, each new Java feature needs to go through a few preview rounds. So you shouldn't rely on these new features when they are in preview, because they might change. Later, when Java introduces them as stable features, you can easily use it. So please be with me in the next few minutes so we can discuss these new Java 23 features. So the first feature that we want to talk about is Markdown comments. You are all familiar with documentation comments. These are the comments that you can style with HTML tags and some Java specific tags. Why they chose HTML? Well, in 1995, it was a good choice. But over time, they decided that it's too hard for humans to read it and also write it. Today, there are more human-readable options for markup languages. For example, Markdown. Markdown is very popular these days to style simple documents. And well, Java comments are also not that complicated. So that's why in Java 23, you can use Markdown to style your comments. Let's have a look at this together. So this website, for example, is a good resource to learn how Markdown language works. Let's go to this cheat sheet part to have a look how you can write Markdown. If you ever write a README file for your GitHub repo, you are pretty familiar with these. You can create headings, you can make your text bold, italic, or you can have like different kind of lists, like ordered list, unordered list, and you can have like block of codes, you can add links, you can add image, basic stuff with text. Now let's write some Java with this new Markdown language. Okay, first let's check our Java version. As you can see, we are using Java 23. So before Java 23, Java looked like something like this. For example, this is main method, and then if you want to make it bold, you could use some HTML tags for it. And let's see, we don't need this. Let's say you wanted to make it a header, you would do something like this and put it in an h1 tag, stuff like this. But now with Markdown language, what you can do is, let's get this text from here. For h1, you can easily just make it like that. And for making it bold, you can choose to use the stars like this. So that's how Markdown language come in handy. And please also be aware that you can still mix it up with Java tags and HTML tags in case these Markdown language is too trivial for some tasks. The next feature that I want to talk to you about is enhanced primitive type pattern matching. It's much easier for me to explain this through code, so let's dive straight into it. Let's say you had an object and you want to check it against a few patterns, and if any of them matched, do some actions. It wasn't as easy before Java 21. Let me show you an example. Let's have a method called public a string pattern before Java 21. Let's say it accepts an object as a parameter, and then if you wanted to check if it's an integer, do something, if it's an long, do something. That was the only way. If object instance of long, let's call it L, and then format it. Actually, let's use what Copilot is suggesting here. It's already good enough, but let's change this to, let's say, integer, and then yeah, something like that. So the only way of doing this prior to Java 21 was using if and else, and if you need to check it against more patterns, it's even more complicated because you need more ifs. But after Java 21 came, you can use this somehow with switch case. Let's say we want another method, patterns in Java 21. Then what you had was to have a switch of object, and then you could say in case it's long L, return this formatted string. If it is integer I, then do this. And if you have another one, like another type, you can easily just add another case, which is less complicated than add lots of ifs. But still, there was this huge restriction. Like this long and integer are not primitive types. These are like reference types, wrapper classes over these primitive types of long and int. And you cannot still use pattern matching for primitive types in Java 21. But in Java 23, I can do that. Actually, let's go a little bit, scroll down so you can see it. Okay, so let's name this one patterns in Java 23. And let's pass it a primitive type like integers. And here I want to have a switch. And first I want to check it against a few values. Like if it's 0, return a string 0. If it's 1, return a string 1. But then at the end, I want to do a pattern matching as the default, like any other values. I want to do a pattern matching here. And in Java 23, I can actually do this. You see how it is a primitive type and it's completely fine. There is no error, nothing. And then I can just return the unknown. One other thing that can come very handy is that I can also add a condition here. For example, let's call it k. I can say when k is bigger than 5, for example, let's return greater than 5 a string for it. So as you can see here, not only I'm doing the pattern matching, I am able to define some conditions for it using the keyword when, which is very powerful actually. What I can do is also like use this variable, as you can see, but you get the idea. The last feature that I want to talk about it today is the module import declarations. There are many libraries in Java, one of them like Java Util, which you use a lot. It contains many great data structures like list, map, set, and if you want to use them, you need to import them one by one. So if I want to use a few classes inside the library like java.util, I need to import them one by one. Let's define some lists and sets and stuff like this. Like this list, this set. And you can see that I'm importing them one by one. The other approach can be to use a wildcard import. Here, when I'm using a star, it's like I'm importing all the stuff inside java.util. But now there is a new approach in Java 23. I can just import the module called java.base, and then you can see everything is included. I can use list, I can use set, I can use map, I can use any file manipulation classes in java.io, and a lot more. At the end, let's have a look at this java.base module to see which packages it contains. As you can see, and we mentioned earlier, java.io, which is good for working with files, java.math, which is providing you with some methods and some classes to do mathematical operations, Java security, Java text, some time stuff, and of course Java Util, which has the whole collection framework in it. Yeah, you can see that lots and lots of packages are provided in this module, and when you import it, you can use all of them without any more import declarations. Okay guys, so these were 3 most exciting features in Java 23 in my opinion. Please bear in mind that apart from the Markdown language in JavaDoc, the other 2 are previews, so don't use them in your production code as they may change. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. See you around.